Soccer fans in the Ashanti regional capital remain skeptical about turning up to support the Black Stars in the African qualifiers game this Saturday. The reaction comes on the back of what has come to be known as the shambolic performance of the Black Stars in the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. Here's a report from Kumasi.
Football fan, irrespective of the bizarre performance Black Star had during the World Cup in Brazil, this weekend this Saturday they are playing at the Qualifiers Sports Stadium. I'm a football fan, though they put up a bad performance in Brazil. That's not the end of football. Before we want football to progress, there is a code of conduct they've given to the players they will go through. I know sanity will prevail from this time onwards, so I wish Black Star all the best on Saturday to perform.
So are you going?
I'm going, really. I'll be at the stadium to support, to cheer the Black Star to victory.
I'm not going to do. You can find some to take time to come in. I will do it. Now we are going to go to the crisis. We have to go. Top of one job go crowd into the
3 days. The cafe players and all the I mean, no money now. Now don't penny for no so. So time players need be brave. Or my boom to somebody back my say and heading. Dear, I saw me. And will be my den so dear. I saw Papa. Now then the first no heading. Now Tianaka. Na edumana awoye no so no wetima eniye na ayeden aso ani ntimi de mpanyifo na medi brem yeden mo play bia mpia abonti mepe obi a chew ball ne de kwa akohwe na next time mo yesa bia ma ena yebusu ye behu de yebeden yebeye
still no we say me ko ni say medi blasa ha pa ba di o mo ya e say February e bre o man we nya sika say ko hwebo amo.
Now, Saturday, the Ghana Black Stars will take on the Cranes of Uganda in the AFCON 2015 qualifier at the Qualifiers Sports Stadium in Kumasi. There have been concerns the poor showing by the team in Brazil and the bonus controversy will affect support for them. Prince Menka hits the streets of Accra, Newtown, a suburb of the capital, to engage some soccer fans.
In Accra, the expectations are quite high. There are those who also feel that they will not want to watch the game between the Black Stars and of course their counterparts are later on this weekend as far as the qualifiers are concerned. The situation is the same as we saw in Kumasi, but let me just speak to a couple of them who have gathered around the newspaper stands here at Accra Newtown and just find out from them exactly what their expectations are. Based on the shambolic performance of the Black Stars in Brazil, there are a lot more people who are saying that, look, we're not going to pay attention to this game. Hello, Chief. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, sir? Come here. So we're looking at this. The Black Stars of Ghana are going to be playing this weekend in the qualifiers. Based on their performance in Brazil, there are some who are saying that they're not going to watch the match. Are you one of those?
No, sir.
Are you going to watch the match?
I'm going to watch them.
Why do you still want to support the Black Stars?
They are Ghanaians.
They are Ghanaians?
Yeah.
But there are some who say that, look, they didn't perform very well in Brazil. And with the kind of monies that was flown to them, I mean, we shouldn't pay attention to them any longer, sorry.
Oh, no, because they are Ghanaians, so I have to watch their match and just support them because they are Ghanaians.
Okay,
no,
so what's your prediction, scoreline? Is Ghana going to win?
It's going to win 2-0.
2-0. Okay, thank you very much. We're talking about the Black Stars of Ghana. Yeah. Now, there are those who are saying that based on their performance in Brazil, we should forget about them. We shouldn't support them this weekend.
Oh, well, we will have to support them, despite the fact that when they went, things were not successful, but we need to support them as what, a team.
As a team?
Yes.
But the argument that the others raise, especially those that we spoke to in Kumasi, who are obviously going to watch the game, are saying that, look, well, they're obviously not going to watch the game. They're saying that, look, with the kind of money that was flown to them in Brazil and the kind of performance that we saw, I mean, why should we support them?
They should forget about the past and let's concentrate on the new team. I believe they'll do well. We should give them the support. Black Star will surely do well. They will come out with a new face. So let's help them.
And I wonder what new face that will be. Thank you very much, sir. tell me, Black Stars this weekend, are you still going to go all out and support them despite their performance in Brazil?
No, I don't think so.
Why wouldn't you?
I'm very disappointed in them. I don't think so. I'm going to support Black Star again.
You're not going to support them again?
No.
Give me reasons why you don't want to.
The players are not competent to fight for their nation. Why, despite they are fighting over money and everything, but I don't think they are competent and they really want to fight for Ghana motherland.
Okay, so if you don't support the Black Stars, if nobody shows up at the Baba Nyara Sports Stadium in Kumasi, and the boys don't have the morale to be able to go through the African Cup of Nations, wouldn't that be bad for a nation like Ghana, which is noted for its footballing history?
Myself, I don't think it will affect me, but I don't know for the others.
But it will affect the country. That means there will be zero. There will be nothing for us as far as football is concerned.
Yeah, so that they will learn their lesson.
Wow, that's a bitter lesson to learn, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, let me talk to this gentleman. He's a senior citizen. Yeah. I mean, he's been through the Nkrumah days up to now. I bet
68 years.
68 good years. Okay, so you've seen the Black Stars from then till now.
Baba Yara up to date.
Now, they're going to go into the game this weekend, qualifiers. There are those who are saying that let's not support them, forget about them, because they spend our money and they didn't perform creditably at the World Cup. So why should we give them the support? Do you agree with people like
that? No, I don't agree with them, because to err is human. And moreover, we should forget what has happened and concentrate on the football, because nobody knows what will happen in future. We have to support them and forget what has happened so that we give them moral support.
Very well. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. And he's been there since Infum's time. Now let me talk to this young man too, who's looking at this newspaper headline. Cameraman, if you can just take a shot of that. Ayujan defend bonuses. They did that at a press conference prior to this weekend game. Now, tell me, going into the qualifiers this weekend, would you, gentlemen, support the Black Stars?
Oh, really? Now we should forget about the issue what they happen, and if we should focus the mind and play the football. When you continue to do what you want to do, you cannot say what people are saying. When you are following it, it cannot help you. We should all focus our mind and support the Black Stars, and we should all move ourselves and make it to one together. It's peaceful to all support Ghana. We all wish you the best that next 2016 we should qualify, or next time we are going to World Cup. I hope we will wish and do the best in the best tomorrow again.
Inshallah. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Okay, it's a Friday, and you obviously will go to the mosque as well. So, yeah, Christians will pray, Muslims are going to pray for the Black Stars, and I bet it's going to be all fun and excitement. But the feeling here is that of, should I support or I shouldn't support? Back to you in the studio.
Absolutely. In the studio, my name is Kamini Nyamani Amano. I have here with me George Addo Jr. George Addo Jr. is with the sports team here at JoyNews. You're welcome to the program, George.
Great. Always great to be here with you.
I see.
I love the show.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
I see. But how widespread is this perception? You know, the fact that it was disappointing and so we should boycott the game.
I think it's maybe 70%, 75% of the fans think that the Black Stars don't deserve their support. But that's what started before the Black Stars arrived in the country. But since they arrived, they've had this tone of, we're sorry, apologize, we don't want this to happen, help us, come back to us, everything. They've had the voices of the likes of President of the FA, Kwesi Nyantakyi, and even lately, Asante Henry Otumfuo II also coming in to say, let's forget about all of this. So I think that the 75% who didn't want to go to the stadium, by now it will have about, 20% left who still don't want to go to the stadium. But as we keep on with the build-up, I'm very sure by tomorrow, by the horns, people get into the place, we will get maybe an 85% Kumasi Stadium full. I'm not sure we'll get 100%.
How bad is that?
It's quite bad, because if you had followed what happened before they went to the World Cup, the last training session of Black Stars in Kumasi before they came to Accra to play a farewell game, the stadium was almost full. That was a training session. So the Black Stars understand what it means. When they arrived at the Kumasi airport, nobody was there to say anything to them. No supporters group singing and everything. They went through the streets of Kumasi. Nobody was saying anything. They went for the first training. Just a few guys came around, and even those who came around were taunting them and hurling insults at them. They just understood what they have done at this point. It's very difficult to say if they have regretted for all that they've done, but what I can say is certainly they have issues, the Black Stars. They are not excited about this, and they've gone about saying that we should try to forgive them and allow it to come there. You think about the press conference, and well, Andre Ayew's position wasn't exactly one that said they really have regretted or there's some remorse, because we went about trying to defend why they have to take their money and all was just unnecessary. But again, it's a culture mix. I was going to say if Jordan Ayew did that, we could pardon him, but Andre Ayew started his football here in Ghana, played in Medina before moving out there to Ajax, his father's team, before going out. So he understands what it means in Ghana to go so hard in such a period. But let's just do it this way. I think that we need to rally support behind the Black Stars. Whatever it is, we want to see them do well and win the laurel. So let's push them there so they can do the AFCON 2015 and try and win it.
What would it take to get the 20% aboard if, fan support is that critical?
They need to put in a very wonderful performance. Excellent performance. They need to be the Ugandans, up to scratch. I mean, it must be a stunning performance.
Tight
game, well played, and the Ghanaian I know, the Ghanaian supporter I know, wants to see the Black Stars starting right from the off, hitting the bar, scoring the goals, maybe 7-0 or 6-1, like they were comfortable after we beat Egypt. Then they can say, okay, yeah, those are Black Stars. And even that, the 20% will want to think about it, because I think that if they're not careful, they probably might not get the 20% ever. It's going to take a long time. Maybe unless they go to the World Cup, they probably get the semi-final before that 20% is coming. But yeah,
performance.
What they're working now is 80%. The fans are not too excited. So what we're saying is, as media men, we also say that let's try and rally support behind the guys and let's try and push them up the level.
Now that we're talking about performance, let's look at our strengths and weaknesses against the Cranes.
Clearly, the Black Stars should be much better. I mean, on paper, the Black Stars are clearly ahead of them. We played 10 times against Uganda, and we won about 8 times. Just some 2 draws we had with them. They've never won here, even though the last time they played with us in the World Cup qualifiers was 1-1 in Kumasi. The other time when they played us in the qualifiers was in 2003. That was when we couldn't qualify for the African Cup of Nations in 2004. So anytime Uganda draws with you, you have to be careful about it. But on paper, we have the stars to do the job. There's no Michael Essien, there's no Kevin Prince Boateng, yes, and there's no Adam Larson Korase. But I think that the boys in camp can deal with all these issues. There's Ajiman Bedu, there's a Free Yakwa who can be in the middle, no doubts at all. There's Rabiu Mohammed as well. So no real issues, except for the goalkeeping department. I don't think we have the strongest of squads in that one, because Fatal Dawda has issues. And I was saying yesterday that Fatal Dawda's problem can now be described as jumping from the frying pan into the fire itself. He moved from Ashanti Gold to Orlando Pirates. He wasn't getting the opportunity to feature. Then he moved to Chippa United because the former Hartsville coach, Costa Papic, was in charge so that he would get some playing time. Now Costa Papic has left the team. So he's gone back into a situation where he's not sure about his future. Well, let's see what he does in this game if he's given an opportunity. We have Stephen Adams of the Diana Stars. We have Razak Brahima, who used to play for Guadalajara. He's now moved to Mirandés in Spain. Not such a solid, set there. They could give us a few problems. Uganda didn't come with their main striker, Geoffrey Massa. That's why we could be excited that we probably might not have too many issues and our defense should be able to deal with them. But they came on with some likes like Setamu Yunus, who played very good football for AS Vita, and they are now in the Champions League, the African Champions League. They have some great players there. Moses Oloya, you can talk about Tony Maweji, Luwaga Kizosto. These are players who can give you something. But I think if the Black Stars are up to the task, they should be able to handle these guys very easily.
Are they a real threat?
Yeah, they are. Uganda are, because the style of football they play. Maybe we should go a bit into their coach, Micho Stradojevic. He's a coach that has stayed on the African scene for such a long time. He started in Uganda in 2002 with Villa. Then after that, he moved on to Tanzania. He's been in Ethiopia as well with St. George's. He's been circling around. He came back for young boys, took them in. He went to South Africa with the Orlando Pirates, took them to the semi-final of the CAF Champions League, and then went to South Sudan and picked El Hilal and took them to the CAF Champions League, then came back to Rwanda and moved to Uganda. So he understands the African game, I think, even much better than Kwesi Appiah does. So that's where we have to be quite careful. And he's a Serbian, so the approach is going to be pretty much like Ghana, because our philosophy for the last 5 years has been really been influenced by the Serbians. Doja coming in, you know, Stevanovic coming in and the likes. And Kosiapia is also following that template of the 4-2-3-1 formation. So they could give us a hard time, but I think we have the men to do the job in terms of getting the goals. Majid Wise, Asemajan, they can try and get around these boys and get the goals.
No, we need Alphonse at the stadium.
Yeah, we need Alphonse at the stadium, but I'm not too optimistic it's going to be a full stadium. I'll be there myself, but I'm not optimistic it's going to be a full stadium. Maybe it's going to be 75-80%, that is.
Are we having live coverage?
Yes, there'll be live commentary on Joy 99.7 FM, that's it for sure. And then, of course, we'll bring the other side views in terms of television footage, because nobody has the rights for it. It's just CAF is going to do its business. FIFA will handle its own thing, and the other stations can pipe too. But on radio, there's going to be live commentary on Joy 99.7 FM. So
we look forward to it, George. I've been speaking with George Addo Jr. George Addo Jr. is with the sports team here at JoyNews. You can join him on Saturday when he brings us live coverage of the qualifier between Ghana Black Stars and the Cranes of Uganda.